R&B money. We up. Tank. Jay Valentine. We are the authorities on all things R&B.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tank.
Jay Valentine.
Oh, this is the R&B Money Podcast, the authority
Yeah.
on all things R&B. Oh, my goodness. In the building, we have a with the most.
Yeah.
And also gives you the lifestyle.
What? This nigga took us to Prince House.
Come on. No, we don't go there.
Huh? What?
Not yet.
All right.
Gives us the lifestyle to
Yeah.
go along with it. A lover of music and our friend, Mr. Kenny Burns, the lifestyle specialist.
Yeah.
All right, so let's start here. Jay already kicked it off because we had to go here first.
Yes.
Yeah.
Some people love music, right? Oh, their presence, their outfits. They've
Yes.
seen countless shows. They have all the albums. They know all the lyrics. Kenny, you take it to another level. Your love for Prince, the late great, one of the greatest of all times.
Dad.
House.
Yes.
Now listen, I love Marvin Gaye.
Yeah.
I love Reverend John P. Kelly. I love all these guys.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna have my birthday party at their house.
Yeah.
You had it at his house.
Yes.
And it was a time.
It was a time. Oh my God. Round of applause.
Come on,
Yeah.
man.
We love Prince. I miss you, Dad. You know what, man? That had been a dream of mine. You know, no one had actually done an event at Paisley Park outside of Prince and his estate.
Okay.
So this was like the first party for someone outside of the inner sanctum.
Yeah.
And, you know, I was in the barbershop one day, and big shout out to my barber, Ron. He was like, where you doing your 50th? I was like, I don't know, man. I can't think about it. I done Versace Mansion. I done been all over the world, you know what I'm saying? Yachts and robots and some more shit. Where am I doing? He said, man, do it at your daddy's house. And I was like, well, my father's dead. I can't, what are you talking about, Ron? He said, no, Prince. I said, Paisley Park. So it was one phone call, man. I made a phone call. It happened, and it was a night to remember, to say the least. It was
No, you affected the economy of Minnesota.
Right.
No.
No, facts.
I'm on the plane,
Yeah,
and it's all black people.
yeah.
No.
Yeah.
And then the stewardess says, you guys must be going to that party.
Right. Yeah,
I
no.
think I was on one of the later flights, and they were like, you must be going to that party. I'm like, actually, we are.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, we just probably had 5 or 6 planes.
Yeah. No, it was 700, I think, and 30-something people that literally flew.
Yeah.
No one there was from Minneapolis. Yeah, it was a time.
Dog, the economy.
That was great.
Yeah, no, listen, I am proud to mean something to somebody. And I think my evolution in this business and who I am to people, that's my legacy. You know what I mean? Not just that I've curated and had some of the most incredible times, you know what I'm saying, celebrating or in a celebratory manner, but like I really mean something to people. I think they take value in the fact that I've been married 24 years, the fact that I've been present in my kids' lives publicly, you know, in the right ways, not just for photo ops. I think all these things are like, you know, things that really resonate with people. So I don't take 700 plus people flying. Like it was going to be freezing. I had Slutty Vegan just because I knew people needed
No way.
sloppy toppy
I did.
until I got to the hotel. I didn't get nothing. You know what I'm saying? I didn't get nothing off the food truck. And you know what? It cost me $18,000 to put that truck on the truck. I just want to tell y'all. I hope you enjoyed it. Amen.
18 grand.
Yeah. That was a month. That party.
That's catering.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Amazing
of course, there's some behind the scenes.
Yeah.
You know.
Behind the
It was painful, but nonetheless, God prevailed.
Yeah, and I think love prevailed, man. People
Thank
love
you.
you.
No, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
For
And
sure.
you've shown authentic love, genuine love
I
for
appreciate that.
everybody.
everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody.
I expected to see everybody that I saw at your party.
Right. Thank
It
you.
wasn't like I was like, oh, wait, they came? No.
Yeah.
We all came.
Right. No,
We
you
were
did.
all supposed to be there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We were all supposed to be there celebrating our brother.
Yeah. It was a spiritual moment for me. I don't think I'll do another one until the next big birthday, but
Yeah.
I think like, you know, as I've become more aligned with my passion and my purpose, you know, I just feel like it's another level, you know what I mean? So that was kind of my ode to the party life, you know, and the next level,
Yeah.
you know, so, but
Hallelujah.
yeah, amen.
Well, let's go back to the beginning.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the house, man. Let's go back to where it all started. Yeah. Man. I remember my first time seeing you at Republic Gardens.
Wow. Big shout out to Mark Barnes.
Shout out to Mark Barnes.
Yeah.
That was my first time seeing you. It was like, who's that? Who's running things?
Yeah.
He's running things.
Who's running things? Oh, so he was cream corn?
Hey, he's cream corn.
Yeah. No.
Running things.
Yeah.
But even before that, man, you know, how did all of this begin? Because, you know, you seem to be born to be this.
I appreciate
to do
that.
this.
You know, I was always, you know, conscious of my people skills and the value that came with the ability to move people. And it started in the streets. You know, I wanted to hustle to have, right? I didn't, you know, necessarily want to be a hustler or want to be in the street doing the wrong thing, but I think it was a necessity. Like much of us at that age, you saw, you know, what you saw and you wanted to emulate that on some level. So, but being in the street taught me unmeasurable and valuable lessons of how to move in life. And I just, you know, I was always the good time, even on the strip, you know what I mean? Or even, you know, in the midst of some danger, you know what I mean? It was always, I was that relief for people. But when I was in the 12th grade, I started relentlessly going to try and be a part of this party scene you mentioned with Republic Gardens, the Ritz. I'm talking about Kilimanjaro, Chicago's, like all these places. And I'm like, you know, we in the street so we can pop some more at White Star. You know what I mean? We putting that shit on. You know what I mean? So then I'm like, damn, I don't really want to be a hustler no more. I want to be in this life because, you know, our backdrop is Howard University. How do you not adore HU?
Yeah.
You know. How do you not? How do you not?
Did you go to Howard? You didn't go to Howard?
I did not. A lot of people think I did because we terrorized
that
motherfucker. You know what I'm talking about? But we were at every party, and big shout out to Rhonda Berry, God rest her dead, you know, Steve Solomon, got a shout out, Danny Davis, like all, you know, it was so many promoters that like we were like, and Monty Wanzer who managed Biz, and they would fuck with us. You know what I mean? So I got the opportunity with Monty and Biz to bring Biz's crates. Now you can imagine, I'm getting money. Don't nobody want to carry no crates. But if it means I could get into these clubs and be a part of this, I'm trying to figure it out. Eventually that led to him taking us to UVA and all the surrounding areas. So I just was kind of like, you know, wanting to be around it. And one foot in front of the other led me to like opportunities. And I tried to grab the mic one night and Biz looked at me like I stole his, you know what I'm talking about, beatbox machine or something like. He was looking at me like, what are you doing? I was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? And he's like, all right, go ahead, kid.
So no conversation at all. You just one night you just felt it in your spirit.
Well, I had kind of been inching up to it, saying I want to do it because of the reaction. Like Biz, you know, Biz doesn't get the credit he deserves as far as an entertainer.
Right.
He was playing theme songs from television shows at the party, and it was going crazy. He was stopping the party because he couldn't really DJ all the way in the beginning and just, you know, doing some beatbox shit and then, you know, bring the music back. I mean, whatever it was to make you have a good time. And me watching him, I'm like, I could do that.
Yeah.
I might not be a beatboxing mother, but I could talk that shit, especially to these women. So a few times I had snuck on, but not in the main kind of capacity. But I think it was one night at UVA. That man did something. He's like, you know, and I got the mic and I just went for it. You know what I mean? No permission, no nothing. And I did a throw your hands in the air wave. I'm like, you just don't care. And it worked. And I was like, see, I told you I could do it. You know what I mean? And I think from then on, I would tamper with it. Yeah. But literally, like the DC thing was like a training ground because Atlanta became my playground. Atlanta, like Leo had called me, my cousin Leo, big shout to Leo Williams. He would go to college. I got locked up my senior year. So he would go
senior year in high school?
Yeah, senior year in high school. And he would go on to Morehouse College. And he would always tell me, you got to come.
So Lowe got y'all to Atlanta?
Yeah, Leo went first.
Okay.
Yeah, Leo went to Morehouse. And, you know, I'm trying to go finish our basketball dream. I went to Montgomery College, you know, the community college, Montgomery Community College. And I was hooping. I pushed somebody out the air one night, caused a whole melee, you know, all this dumb, you know what I mean? Yeah. So he kept calling me, you got to come down here, man, fuck that basketball shit. You play at Morris Brown or Clark or come to Morehouse. I was like, I don't think I got the grades for that, but I'll come check you. So he kept asking me. And finally in the spring of 92, he said, you got to come to Freaknik. And I'm like, what is this magical thing that you just said? Not knowing what it was. It's just Freaknik. I'm like, how do I sign up? I mean,
it sounds like somebody.
It sounds like somewhere you want to be.
I'm 19 years old. I'm like, Freaknik? He's like, come on down. And I'm telling you, so I got cleared. My PO let me go down. I told him I was going to visit colleges. And it changed my life. You know,
I told him I was going to visit colleges.
Yeah.
He was technically.
I mean,
yeah.
You're right.
But I see this beautiful black oasis of like, you know, and by this time of me getting there, Leah had already told everybody I was Scarface. He had told, like, it wasn't no social media.
Yeah, I got a cousin, man. Yeah. He gonna be out. He gonna get out. He'll be for Freaknik.
Yeah. So, you know, wasn't no social media. So he telling, so I meet Shakir Stewart off the plane. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people that end up becoming, you know, great friends and running this industry of ours. But fresh off the plane, I was like, this is where I'm supposed to be. And we were just doing all the DC shit. And what I mean by DC shit, it was like we was knocking everything down. Like it was just who can we get? You know what I mean? It was like so many beautiful women. Obviously, you know, there's an all-girls school across from Morehouse. Spelman College, one of my favorite places to attend, you know, in that era.
Amen.
You know, and then he said amen. Clark Atlanta University, the most underrated HBCU on the planet. And it was all, you know, this one big congregation. It was all this one big, you know what I mean? And I was trying to really plot on how I was going to take it over. So I had to go home. And I told Leo, I said, fall, I'm coming to school. So I'm trying to enroll. No one would accept me. But the newly accredited Morris Brown College. Yeah, love you. Thank you. Big shout out to Morris Brown College. And I enrolled. Man, got down there. The first week I got down there, we do a party at our apartment. And yes, my entry into school was not a dorm. We was living. We was in Austell out there by Six Flags. And we had a 2-bedroom. The pool was right next door. It was a thing.
Yeah.
So we do a party the first week.
That you moved in?
The first week.
Wow.
The first week. Now, mind you, we done made an impression doing Freaknik. Leo and them down there running amok anyway. They already like that 2620 is known. We do a party called 2620 Blunt Hill presents The Cookout. And we did it at our house. I'm going to provide the paper flyer so you can show it right now. Okay? When I tell you this party was so legendary, not just because I ended the night in some Speedos and Timberlands, but it was so legendary. Yeah.
We'll get back to that.
Yeah, I know. Shit gets crazy. But it went so dumb. They were like, when the next party? Everything from that day forward was when the next party.
Right.
So big shout out to Blue. He Marco Blue Johnson, he owned Marco's Pita, and he was like my first big brother. And Leo had a car, but Leo was kind of stingy with his car, so I would kind of link up with Blue to go terrorize, right? Because I wanted to be in it.
Because you definitely need a car in Atlanta.
Yeah.
No, you had to. We lived in Austell.
Yeah.
We lived in Austell.
Yeah.
So I literally link up with Blue, and we started doing promotions for the Phoenix, and
What is the Phoenix?
Phoenix nightclub ended up becoming the warehouse where we made the legendary Funk Clinic.
Gotcha.
But the Phoenix was like, it was in the city. And for Atlanta, if you know anything about Atlanta, all the popping parties outside of 112 and maybe a few little restaurant spots like sports bars type things were outside of Atlanta. Mm-hmm. All the popping clubs. Right? So this club was by the AUC, the closest club to the AUC.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm assuming things went on there, but it was more of an Atlanta crowd than a school crowd. So I'm making my bones getting to know the city. You know what I'm saying? So we do a Big Head and Blue joint. That was the first party kind of collab.
So you Big Head?
I'm Big Head Kenny.
Big Head Kenny.
Everybody. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Big Head Kenny. That was my nick. You didn't know that?
No, I didn't know that
either.
Yeah.
That's why I asked. I'm like, nigga, you Big Head?
Literally on the flyers, a Big Head and Blue joint. That was like the first. Blue. So long story short, my crew kept coming to the club. Leo, Damon, GJ, everybody was coming to the club. And we just kept making a name for ourselves. This is what I want to say to all aspiring, lifestyle specialists. People are the piece, you know what I'm saying, to your success. Like, I just was... I knew everybody. I made everybody feel comfortable. And mind you, it's not my party yet. I'm promoting for the club. Mm-hmm. And so long story short, man, we get an opportunity to get the actual club and do a night. So when this happened, Steve Solomon, that did Chicago's in DC, and you know Steve. He came down, he was like, yo, you need to meet my man, AG. I'm like, who is this AG guy? He's like, he does parties at Ethiopian Vibrations, and you know, he's a great promoter. I was like, all right, cool. You know, they about to give me the spot. What's up? Let's link up. So we ended up doing a party. We were called the Fly Boys at first, right? And it was a whack-ass name that Steve Solomon, God rest the dead, made up, but I hated the fucking name. I always wanted to name it 2620, but I had to kind of like prove that I was the one, not the two. So Alex Gidwan, who's now AG Entertainment, he does AG Touring. Steve Solomon, we went in and we started doing, you know, I don't even know what the name, I know we were Fly Boys. But anyway, long story short, we got an opportunity to take the club, you know what I'm saying, from this current partnership. And the owner was like, you know, he wanted to basically give it to the 2620 crew. And I was like, I don't know if I want to do that yet, but let me tell him we're going to call it 2620 and see what happens. So we ended up calling them 2620 Presents and da-da-da-da-da. So my crew, of course, was like, they ain't 2620. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need to own it outright. So around this time is when I meet Wendell. And Wendell White came into play, like, you know, one as a big brother, but he also was outside. Like, he's from Detroit. What up, though, to everybody from Detroit? Everybody knew Slick. And he was getting it. I mean, when we met him, our game went to another level because he had the black on black Lexus SC3, whatever it was, with the BBS. He had the Land Cruiser, the Range Rover, all the things. So you can imagine 2620 playing without toys and then 2620 playing with toys. It was a whole nother offering. So then it was like, all right, I need to take this. So I asked Alex, I was like, yo, I'm about to take this. Steve is making $3,000 a week for nothing. He don't come here. He don't promote. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's up? You coming with me? He's like, I can't really do that to Steve. So I was like, all right, peace. We remained cool, dapped up, kept it moving. But that 94.
So now you got your own club.
I have the club, the main club in Atlanta that was called the Phoenix. And then that fall went to the Warehouse. And the Warehouse is where we created Funk Clinic Friday. This is where the, you know, the notorious Big Mac promo fight and all this shit with Mark Pitts, who used to be called Gucci Don, and him, and then Puffing them, trying to, you know, wolfing all them, trying to control the situation, us pulling them things out. I mean, this is all like fun facts. It's been in a couple of interviews, but it literally went to another level because not only had we did the groundwork in Atlanta and made bones as far as like being known throughout the city, but we had the AUC on lock. And anything that came to Atlanta came to us.
Do me a favor, right? Because, you know, we always go back to our podcast being informative and our podcast being something that you can learn from.
Facts.
And that you can pick up. Obviously, your business grew to other things, but at this point, you're a club promoter. Can you give us a little bit of a breakdown of how that works? It's like for a young dude, young girl who wants to get into, or not even young, whoever wants to get into that space.
Right.
How does that work? Right? Where you have your night. Do you actually rent the club from the owners of the Phoenix? Or is it just like, okay, I'm gonna get the door, y'all take the bar? How does that usually work for promoters?
I love
so that you can make a living in this thing.
Absolutely. So like I mentioned, the Big Head and Blue joint, we were doing promotions for the Phoenix. We got to the point where we eventually rented a club, and we benefited from having autonomy at the door, right? As you get bigger, you have options to also get pieces of the bar and things of that nature. And I haven't been a promoter in a long time, but if I was advising anyone on how to get into it, it would be to own your own, right? Like if you can't afford to get a brick and mortar and do your own version, get with a good partner that needs your services, understand your value and what you bring to the table. If you can put 1,000, 2,000 people in the building, you know you can get 25% of the dough, or you can get 50% of the door, you can get 100% of the door, and then get 25% of the bar. It's all how you negotiate. So I think that ownership is key when you're getting into anything, but you have to start somewhere.
Right.
So don't be scared to like get involved in what somebody else is doing. Get noticed for what your talents and superpowers are. Get noticed for your ability to put people in the building, and then grow from there. But there's all types of scenarios that you can create for yourself.
And you were doing this once a week, or you were doing it multiple nights?
Once a week, yeah.
Okay.
And then we grew into we moved from the Warehouse to, you know, we had a Olympic Nike Village in '96 for New Year's. We did the Fox. It was called Celebrity Fair. We partnered with Noontime. And, you know, we started doing bigger and, you know, better things. And we actually had the Snoop tour when I was 20 years old, but he got locked up. We had at the Omni, is now, well, I think it's State Farm Arena now. But we had, like when Jodeci was on tour and they was doing the whole thing, so we had that. We ended up not doing it because Snoop got locked up. But we went from zero to hero quick.
So when you were building the pieces, right, in terms of growing as a promoter, what do you feel like was the most important nuance? Would it be DJ in terms of music, being able to hold those people there? Or how many women you were able to get into that spot to make the dudes come along? Or a balance of making sure you had the right dudes in there to, like...
Yeah, it's a
which of those pieces, you know what I'm saying? Like really...
Yeah, I think great music sets the tone for the party. And then you have to have the people. I think women are the catalyst for a great party. Right. I think they make men, move. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like if you can have a woman,
though, anyway.
Yeah, in our time, if you had the women and they were celebrating, the men had no choice, or they looked lame.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And this is hard dancing. This ain't
this is sweating.
Yeah, this is you sweating. Like you are busting a move.
This is party shirts and Guess jeans. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. And women, man, have and I always say this, they were the best promotion. I think we were like 25 deep. And so it wasn't nothing we ain't touched, but our goal was to have women talk about us, not just in that way, but just in the, if you want to have a good time, you got to go. I mean, even when, I'll never forget, I met my wife at Howard University's homecoming, 1997. Her best friend, I'm not best friend, but her friend at the time, when she inquired about me, said that, I wouldn't make him your man, but he's good for a good party, or he'll be good for, get you into all the hot events. I was like, no, you didn't just try to ruin my life before it even started. Tabera, I don't know where you at, baby. But it's 24 years of love and happiness, two great functioning humans. I appreciate your high five. Halfway high five.
Halfway high five.
She almost killed it before it began.
What?
Yeah, man. Sorry, I just had to get it off my chest.
You good for a party,
sometimes the reputation precedes you.
Love is as love does.
Yeah, that's how it goes. That's how it goes. So you're promoting in Atlanta, and obviously you're coming across everybody.
Yeah.
When is the turn to say, not only do I want to have the nightlife, I also want to have the music that creates the nightlife?
Yeah, man, that's a great question. You guys are getting good at this. I really applaud you on your professionalism.
It's also what you do.
Yeah. You know what? I was in the parking lot of 112 one night. And big shout to Dave Gates and God rest Claude Austin, Dallas Austin's brother.
Okay.
They used to come to my club every week. You know what I'm saying? And at this time, they had Monica, they had Y'all So Stupid, they had, I think Illegal may have been or almost was signed. But they tried to put out Monica for the second time with Don't Take It Personal, because I guess the first time it didn't click. And so they were like, yo, do you want to promote this new artist we have? Now, mind you, they were hiring me because of what I did on the party scene, promotion-wise. Right. And I was like, do I? You know what I mean? And he was like, all right, cool. So one night, I'm in the 112 parking lot and I'm promoting Don't Take It Personal. And I ran into the guy that actually curated and was responsible for the Black Expo. And you remember the Black Expo back in the day. Yeah. That was like Coachella in the South. And so, got Monica on that thing, on that little tour, spot dates or whatever. And they asked me to come in and run, street team promotions. I was like, hell yeah. And so I think that kind of piqued my interest. Not necessarily that, I was in love with Monica's song and she was 14. She looked at me like a big brother. I loved the energy I brought and how I made people feel, but I didn't know what I wanted to do in it. And at the same time, Clark Kent, who used to book all the time to DJ, he had introduced me to Dame Dash and Kareem and Jay and how am I forgetting his name? Vegas Jones, Emory Jones. And so they're talking about, they got this label they doing. Jay-Z had a song called 22 Tools, and they wanted me to help them, promoting the South. So I would go back and forth to New York, Maria Davis, Mad Wednesdays. I was like in their mix too. So I'm doing the Rowdy Records thing with Monica. I'm consulting with J&M, and I love what J&M was doing because that's like my life. You know what I mean? So I'm like, oh, this is kind of, and then he came, with Reasonable Doubt. I had no idea that when I'm going to D&D hearing, you know,
that's what it would become.
You feel me? Yeah. And so like it became like, damn, I'm really curious. I really think I can help these people. You know what I mean? So I end up helping Ray figure out some other markets for the street teams. I held down Atlanta. And it started to grow, man. And everything kind of led to me starting to feel myself in the space and how I could contribute more, but it wasn't going to happen at Rowdy Records. So one meeting at Rowdy Records, they were talking about Dallas, this, that, and the third. And I felt like Monica's popping. She wasn't before me. You know, not realizing there was Arista Records along with Rowdy Records pushing this. I'm thinking I'm doing it.
You think
all.
you did it.
Yeah. You know what I mean? I got on the Black Expo. I need $1 million.
I got on the Black Expo.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm in a meeting one day and it wasn't going the way I wanted it to go. And I, you know, being young, I think I was 21 years old. I was like, man, fuck Dallas Austin.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking I'm just in the room, family. I'm going to tell my brother, fuck you, if I don't agree with you. You know what I mean? I'm not thinking it's going to cause a shockwave, right? So he wasn't at the meeting. And then I guess whoever was in the meeting went and told him what I said. And, you know, at this point, I think Claude had passed. And he was always my champion, Claude Austin, and Dave Gates. And they knew how passionate I was, how hard I worked, and what I wanted to do. Because, you know, once you find out you're good at something and you can, you know what I'm saying, like make money doing it,
yeah.
And it's legal, like you want to hold on to that.
Yeah.
You know
It becomes
your
passion.
It becomes your passion. Yeah. And I wasn't doing nothing but being passionate. And I think if he even would tell you the story, he would look at it too, like maybe his ego was involved. But Dave ain't like that, bro. Like as soon as Dave got back to us that Dallas heard, Dave was tipping over, you know, desk, fire me, motherfucker, fuck you. Like it was a whole thing. But that also for me, and I want to shout Dave Gates out because we didn't have father figures in the business when I came into the business or even as I grew in the business. It was people that wanted to take our flavor, our ideas, our creative abilities and use that. Not necessarily to reward us.
To build you up,
You feel me? Not to build you up, but to take. And
for their game.
Yeah, but for Dave to do that, it allowed me not to be tainted from being fired. It allowed me to know that shit, he believed in me. He now saying, fuck, you know, fuck dude. You know what I mean? And you got to stand on something. And if you don't, they going to keep you under their thumb. Yeah. And for me, that exit was the beginning to my ascension and what I ultimately became.
So do you start Studio 43 after that?
After
or is you still doing your 2620 thing in the streets with the clubs and your promotion. But now that you're not at Rowdy anymore. Yeah. You didn't, you know.
Fuck that up.
You lost your mind. You know, you had a moment.
Yeah,
you
had a light-skin moment. Yeah.
Got your ass fired.
Yeah.
So where do you go from there?
Man, again, great question. Because I was on probation.
Wait, you still on probation?
He's still on probation.
I'm still on probation.
This whole time?
Whole time. Like I had 10 years probation.
Oh, okay. You have 10
years. They want to lock you up. They want you to fuck up.
Yeah. 10 years probation?
10 years.
Yeah, I got a couple homies.
Yeah, so I literally, my mom had moved to Atlanta at this time, and she's in 3A. We're in like 2B.
Wait. She moves into the same apartment building too.
Yeah, but my mom's like my sister. I mean, you've heard that, I'm sure. Like my mom is like we grew up together. It wasn't, you know, she's literally exactly 20 years older than me, and we learned a lot together. But anyway, she lives in like 3A. We live in 2B, and the police came looking for me about my probation. This is around all the time I got fired. You know, the Rockefellers are, you know, ascending. I'm not trying to really move to New York and be there, so I'm trying to really figure it out. Well, Clark is going to Motown Records, right? And he's like, yo, I want to, you know, fuck with you, and then I'm going to figure out how to bring you into Motown Records. But I'm like, I got to get out of Atlanta and get back because, you know, extradition, they can hold you up to 6 months before they take you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I got to get home. So I go to D.C., and while I'm home fixing my shit, which was, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to tell you my age through this story. I was faxing my probation sheet. Right? I was faxing my probation sheet to report. And the mishap is that the machine on their end was broke and they weren't getting my faxes. But how you keep a fax machine broke for like a month and don't, right? So they
didn't really give a fuck.
You feel me? They want you to go to jail.
Yeah, so they like, no, we didn't get it.
They want you to go to jail. So anyway, I'm in D.C., and then Clark calls like, Clark Kent, DJ Clark Kent, if I didn't make that specific, but he calls like, yo, I know a way to get you in the Motown. I'm like, all right, bet. I'm in D.C. You coming here? He's like, yes, we're doing the Motown talent review. We're looking for artists for Motown. I was like, say less. It's like, what do I need to do? You need artists, or I need to scour the city to find some talent? Yeah. He's like, nah, I want you to throw a party. I was like, say less.
It's easy for you.
I was like, that's easy. I was like, who's coming? It's like Andre Harrell's like naming the whole. I was like, say less. Now, mind you, being from Washington, D.C. and Heavy D, you know what I'm saying, sampling Go-Go for the first time, like Uptown Records was the immediate playlist of my life. Everything he did after Heavy D, because he used Go-Go and Mr. Big Stuff, had me loyal to that brand. So everything he did. And whole time I'm not communicating that. I'm just showing you how God shows up. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going through all this probation shit. I got to go home with fear of being extradited. I got to, you know what I mean? You call me, you want me to do a party for Andre Harrell?
Yeah.
Say less. Yeah. So, you know, I get ready for the party. I got a light-skinned girl, because he calls them butter wavies. I'm like, you got to sit with this man the entire night. I ain't ask you to do nothing you don't want to do.
Butter wavies.
Yeah, he called them butter wavies. I had that and some Dom Perignon waiting. He gets there when the door open. Now, luckily, it's packed. I'm not there yet, though, because I was planning to come.
He get there when the door open?
Yeah, Dre was ready. You know, first of all, D.C. for Andre Harrell was like, he loved D.C. He loved the party energy.
Yeah.
And I think he honestly wanted to see what Clark Kent kept raving about. So he get there, it's packed. You know what I'm saying? I'm not there yet. And he's like, where's this light-skinned nigga? This shit, like, oh, shit, this nigga. So I'll never forget, I came in, it was like a scene out of like, you know, Above the Rim when dude came in and Pac was sitting at the table. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, I walk up, I was like, how you doing, Mr. Harrell? I'm Kenny Burns. He was like, oh, shit, this nigga's fly too. So he's going off into this like wonderland of compliments talking about DC and how I matched what he thought, you know what I'm saying, fit the bill. And so he was like, oh shit, nigga, what did you do, nigga? You had, I forgot her name, I think it was Crystal. You had Crystal Wayne, Madame P, I'm champagne and bubbles. Like he was excited. I was like, he's like, what do you do? I was like, I make it happen. I was like, what do you need done? Whew. You hear me? Like, what do you need done? He's like, oh shit, this nigga's got timing. Oh,
he's got timing.
Yeah. So he's literally like going through this like, you know, admiration in front of me. Now, you know, usually people they want to hold on.
Andre wasn't like that.
He was not. I miss him so much, man. So he was like, get to New York on Monday morning, you fly, light-skinned, you know what I'm saying, well-dressed, manicured. I mean, he went through a whole list of descriptions, you know what I mean? Yeah. Get to New York on Monday.
Yeah.
So the party ensues. We have a great time. He came when it started. He left when it ended. Clark calls me like, you did it. Be at Motown at 8 a.m. I said, say less. I was at 8 a.m. He didn't get there till 10. I'm in the office like, oh, shit, the nigga came to New York City. Oh, shit. I'm like, I'm here. I'm ready to work. What can I do? He said, come on in. We talked. He asked me all these questions about, you know. So, of course, my playbook in the industry was Monica and Jay at the time. Mm-hmm. So I told him what I did to contribute to that. Told him
Black Expo.
Black Expo. Yeah. So he was like, all right, cool. He's a kid. Sincere Thompson coming in. So Sincere came. He's like, put him in street team marketing and give him $60,000 a year. Now, I done made $60,000 in my life to this point. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I never had nobody in the corporate structure say, here's the check and this is what you're gonna do. I mean, the rowdy shit was really outside service. So they paid me $19,000. I was making way more doing parties and my little, you know, my little whatevers. But this was my first, like,
you was in the door.
I was in the door.
You was in the door.
It wasn't an outside service check. You know?
Yeah.
So I moved as soon as I got my stuff straight. Big shout out to Bobby Joseph. He let me sleep on his couch in Brooklyn for about 6 months.
Yeah, shout out to Bobby.
Yeah, shout out to the Ye. But I got in that door, bro, and I went from 60 to 80 to 120 in, you know, like a year and a half. Everything I wanted to do, he allowed me to do, and I kept hitting home runs. But we as a company couldn't hit home runs. You know what I'm saying? Like I was making impressions based on my Motown Flavors campaign, or, you know, breaking 702 Stilo at 92Q in Baltimore. Because I went from Stream T Marketing Promotions to radio promotions, from radio promotions to A&R. Yeah. So he was giving me, I was getting studio time. I remember them. Do y'all remember this? Tank, you have to remember this. Jay, you have to. Do you remember them little sheets for the car service? And you had to fill out your seat. And that man gave me a bag of them. I'm riding around in car service everywhere
in New York,
everywhere.
Oh yeah.
And then so my whole experience, I remember, I never forget this. Daddy O's in Cancun, Mexico. Malik Yoba White Party. Motown presents Malik Yoba White Party, and I had been running amok with my corporate card and these motherfucking things. And I just gotta tell a story because Eddie F.
was running amok.
Because Eddie F, I love you, but you ain't shit for not signing off on this. So I went, and I'm thinking like, yo, you know, I'm going to go out here and pop off. You know what I mean? Like, so we in there, and the party is the party of the weekend. I'm talking about all white. Malik Yoba was fresh off of whatever show he had. And this
is in Cancun?
This is in Cancun.
Oh,
yeah. So I'm in there swipe. So Bobby Joseph, I don't know if y'all remember, but Bobby, he was up back designing for like the FUBUs and all the things. And he was up.
So that's Taj's big brother.
Yeah.
Bobby Joseph is Taj's big brother.
In real life.
The creative, the film director, creative.
I know that.
Yeah, that's his big brother.
So he in there swiping, so I'm going bottle for bottle. Next thing you know, we buying so much champagne, they bringing it in garbage cans. Garbage cans.
This ain't going in well.
So I'm swiping, end of the night, the bill's $8,000 for me, $8,000 for Bobby. We split the bill, $16,000 bill. Now we were the talk of Cancun. I get back to the office, everybody, yo, that party was crazy. Oh man, that party was crazy. Eddie F came in my office like, yo, you spent $8,000 at Daddy O's? Like, yeah. We had a Motown Malik Yoba White Party.
Yeah.
Well,
I did it for us.
Yeah.
For the culture.
I did it. He's like, Kenny, you're an A&R.
Oh, they're talking about us. They're talking about us, man.
They're talking about Motown. That's not just me. You know? So, you know, big shout out to Eddie F. I love you, bro. But he did not approve that. He did not sign off on that.
You had to pay for yourself.
I had to pay it out of my pocket. That was my first credit lesson in life.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I was like, $8,000? I only make $8,000 a month. Like, you want me to pay the one thing? I got rent. I have things that I'm trying to be legit. You're not helping, Eddie. Eddie, help me. You know what I mean? I was like, don't you remember me on that court against Motown versus Bad Boy High represent? Don't you remember when I did it?
Right.
And you can't. Yeah. I'm representing us.
One more time for the one time.
Not for the 8,000.
Not the 8,000 got paid. Yeah. Had to pay that off over time at that point in my life.
Oh yeah, no, you definitely got like $1,000 a month, $500 a month,
and that's when Amex wanted their money a month. Yeah. You knew school motherfuckers got that Amex to let you pay payments.
Yeah, you got minimums.
No,
now you got minimums.
Back then you had to pay in full or your shit gets cut off.
Yeah,
it took me about 6 months to get that shit back on, but we did it. The dream is real.
That sounds exciting, too.
Oh, it was amazing.
Give me a year.
That was 96, 7. Yeah, right after. Yeah, so we went from, 2 million records, I think we ended up, or 2 million, the Don't Take a Person with 2 million, got fired. Then, like the Rockefeller thing, I didn't want to move. Then I went to DC because of the probation. That was all in 96. And then I met Jessica right after the Motown, or right in the middle of the Motown thing. So, 97 was, that fall of 97, I met her. So, it was 97.
What a year, 97.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, I was on tour.
The 90s.
The 90s, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, the 90s period.
Because there was no blueprint. There was no algorithm. There was no Googles.
No.
You couldn't Google for answers.
No.
You had to really have the answers. And if you did have the answers, people would amplify that you knew the answers.
Yeah.
That was the beauty of the era.
Right.
It wasn't just like you could get by because you Googled and you posted and it looked good. No. You had to be him.
Yeah. You had to really be him.
And you're talking about when gangsters were starting to come into the music business. There were already gangsters.
Right.
I'm talking about real gangsters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, you look at the stories of Gene Griffin, and you.
Yeah, I think more so than that they were starting to come into business. I think that they were out front.
Yes.
Yeah.
They had never been out front.
Absolutely.
Right, because we can go back to the beginning of this shit and it's been gangsters.
Yeah.
Right? But gangsters used to stand
Stay
behind
back.
the curtain.
Yeah.
Now they were standing in front of it like, no, I'm a gangster.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's
and
up?
And we're gonna need all of that.
And this is how we run it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna hang you off the balcony.
Yeah.
I think Gene Griffith did that first.
Yeah. So I think that's the 90s is when that really became a thing where it was like, oh yeah, and the executive or the executive producer, like people didn't even know what the executive producer was.
Facts.
Honestly, into the 90s.
Yeah, because you were going to see the artist or try to see who you saw with the artist. You didn't go to the credits.
Right.
Like the A&R is such and such.
Yeah.
The executive producer does, you didn't even know the functions. And that's one thing I'm so proud of my experience and time in Motown because I learned the game.
Yeah. No, it's something that I want to ask you about that too, because like you said, you learned the game. And it's something I want to spotlight and highlight. Andre Harrell.
Yeah, man.
My guy.
He does not get the credit he deserves, in my opinion.
Yeah.
In R&B.
Facts. He brought champagne to the game.
He absolutely brought champagne to the game, but just the fact of like he was a savant when it came to R&B music. Like I had the pleasure through my relationship with Larry Jackson to meet him later on and really have some conversations with him and be like, oh shit.
Yeah.
The way he breaks down R&B music and the way that R&B should be done and the ideas that he has, damn near second to none.
Yeah, second to none.
Like it was special.
Yeah.
And the way that, just like you said, his personality,
the way he articulates
that came through. Oh man, it used to be hilarious.
Yeah. And the craziest thing about it, and I'm not gonna say Andre was the most fashion forward motherfucker, but he was probably the flyest mentally I'd ever met. And because of him, I learned Basquiat. Because of him, I collect art. You know what I'm saying? Like when I met him, he had an apartment on the west side of New York. And we all know how expensive and what that was, not for black people then. He had a whole top of the apartment building was his crib. He had a driver with a Rolls Royce. The taste level was something that I adopted and possessed. I would not be the lifestyle specialist. I would not be as important to all these brands and these people if not for Andre.
Yeah.
And as it adheres to music, without Uptown Records, sonically, I don't think Church and the sounds that came from Church would have been magnified in the way that they did.
Yeah.
Jodeci, arguably, right? I was just listening to something that Boys and Men was saying. They're like, we came with bow ties and cardigans on. These motherfuckers had on leather with bats.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Talking about they gonna get your girl. You know what I mean? But I think that there was a exercising of freedom that came with Uptown in a celebratory way. I think we've had many amazing songs that celebrated life and culture, but Uptown was special, man. And when people think about it, they don't think about Andre. They think about the artist. But Andre, to your point of his expressive nature and his passion for black people in culture, right? He would explain why. No one towards the end helped him with his confidence. You can imagine having all the success Andre had, all the amazing triumphs. I mean, Strictly Business was a movie in a time when we weren't doing movies. New York Undercover was a television show that was wildly popular for damn near a decade. You know what I'm saying? When we weren't doing that. And this was all Andre's vision and what he wanted to do. And for me, the end of the day for him to die, not knowing he was a superhero, or to not feel the love and respect for an industry he gave his life to.
Right.
It really broke my heart because I was with him the last 3 years of his life. So
yeah, I don't feel like he was celebrated enough.
No. Me signing the girl group Dream. The highest debut of girl groups, only behind the Spice Girls ever. I'm talking about Destiny's Child and all the one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and what I heard was the free, like him getting his masters back. That group helped him get his master. Of course, LA had something to do with that. But like, I wouldn't have went to Revolt and launched Revolt Television if it hadn't been for Dre. You know what I'm saying? So I look at like how he ended his time here on Earth. It's heartbreaking when you think you give your all to something and you're not appreciated. Fuck rewarded.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the people you put in the game or the people that was there for you most. But I loved him, man, like a father, and I don't think there'll be another because, this generation of leaders are falling short with pouring into humans and teaching them about life and how to handle fame and how to handle success. And I don't think we do that no more. I think it's a money grab. The art is gone, and he was one of the greatest artists of our time.
Agree with you 100%.
Artists.
Nah,
paint the cultural picture. Here's your brush.
Yeah.
Have at it.
No rebuttal.
Yeah, man. It's crazy, man. I don't want to call out individuals, but I'm so saddened that he don't even, I mean, there's no statues of this man. Like, he's that caliber.
He's that.
It's special.
Huh. Yeah, for
Absolutely.
sure.
How long were you at Motown?
I was at Motown as long as it lasted with his reign. I think I left 6 months before they ousted him. And he actually suggested I leave. That's how dope he was. He was like, don't burn up with the ship. He's like, people are at you right now. Yeah. Take some meetings.
So did you do Soul for Real?
No.
Were you there still or no?
Soul for Real was Uptown.
Oh, that was still.
That was Uptown. Yeah, that was Uptown.
Okay.
Yeah, but I had the pleasure to work with 702, Terrell Hicks. Terrell was so dope.
Yeah, I was just mad at Kith about the collab that they did with Bronx Tale, and they left Terrell Hicks out.
Yeah, crazy. She did an amazing job.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
What's old boy name that on Kith? Ronnie?
Yeah, Ronnie Fee. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
How's that even possible?
That's culture, yeah. Facts. And also, too, big shout out to Shades, Horace Brown. We had a roster.
Brown.
We had a roster.
Yeah.
Loved Horace
Brown.
Brown.
Was Shantae on Motown then, too?
I don't know.
Who else was on Motown at that time? You said 702.
We had Biv 10, so Biv 10 had a couple things.
Yeah.
So we had the roster. I do felt that Andre was competing with Puff at that point in his life, and I always used to tell him, he wants to be you. Don't follow, you know what I'm saying, and to take that. You don't need none of that.
But that's tough, though.
It's not tough when you got the paper he had.
Yeah, but when
what people don't realize, he got 20 or 30 million to come. He got paid out.
Yeah, but I'm saying beyond the right. I'm saying beyond the money side. When something that you help birth becomes this thing, it's natural. Especially if you're not in business with it. It's just a natural competition.
But also, Harrell being the savant that he was, he probably understood what was coming a lot more so than anybody else did. He's like,
to a fault.
I raised a monster.
No.
And that's getting ready to.
Yeah, and he's absolutely right in the fact that he saw the value in what Puff was doing. Didn't realize that was Puff's nuance, not his.
Not his.
And so that's what I'm saying. Like, when you are the father of it, when you're the teacher, you build up these Puff Daddies, these Kenny Burns, to let them then raise the next generation.
Yeah.
So to be the Berry Gordy, to be the Black Godfather, Clarence Avant, to be, the Russell, the whatever. And I don't think Russell did it as masterfully, in my opinion. You know what I mean? I think Russell had a playground, people played and grew. But Dre literally handpicked people and placed them in culture and gave them, the mirror so they can see their own superpowers. And I don't think there was many like that.
Yeah.
And I felt in that time, him with the It's On campaign, with, that was like plastered throughout New York City. And I think it was in competition.
Yeah.
But you're bigger than that. So we used to have our conversations about that. And towards the end, I would often have to remind him of who he was.
Yeah.
I was like, man, fuck him. You created, not sometimes fuck Puff, but like fuck whoever went against you. Fuck whoever didn't see that you the one, not the two.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel, and O'Neal and I, big shout out to O'Neal.
Shout out to O'Neal.
Yeah, we were together the other night, man, and we were just telling stories. I showed him my last text, and I'm going to show y'all with Andre, and I don't even know how it still comes up in my phone, but to his death, 2 days before his death, this is what we're texting about. And it's only about culture. This is only about culture. He died on the 7th of May. I'm going to go back to the 5th just so y'all can see it. We had this thing called Revolt to Vote, right? And it was this big campaign, and it didn't go, but Dre loved the campaign. So he would always lean on me for political things because at this point, May 4th, 2020, I was going crazy in Atlanta on the radio with what we needed to do to, not have Donald Dump back in office. And I affectionately referred to him as Donald Dump. I hate saying his whole name, you piece of shit. So as we're getting into this campaign, I'm on the radio. We got Raphael Warnock. We got, John Ossoff. Like Georgia had to turn blue for us to, win this election. So he's hitting me every day. So he started on the 4th. We've been started prior to the 4th, but on May 4th, he hits me like, here's my thinking. I think it's time for vote or die. I hit him after he says we need to bring, I said, in addition, let's add colleges and universities, make HBCUs state options and provide federal funding to improve them. Meaning like we were, the voting thing was all fried. I was like, let's go to HBCUs and have voter registration on campuses. So we're talking about all these things. He's going on about Ferguson because that was prevalent then and all the things that, and I was like, yes, sir, I'm with you. I said, as always, he's like, don't let the cat out the bag on air because I'm on air daily. Like I'm on Monday through Friday on V103. So I'm daily reporting. And on May 5th, he finally sent the Biden plan for Black America, right? And the Biden plan was how, because he was asked by the Biden campaign to come and help us with Black America. You know what I'm saying? Tell us what we have to do. So he created this, comprehensive plan on what he, wanted to do, how he was going to help. He said, here's a breakdown. It makes it more digestible. And I hit him with the heart logo. And that's the last time we communicated. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And for me, 2 days later, it's like, May 6th, I'm calling him like, all right, I got the plan. You want me to go online? You want me to, what you want me to do? Is it time to say it? And he ended up, dying being found May 7th. And, it was just heart-wrenching, man, because he was just such a good dude, and it was always about culture. Yeah. It was never just about, music, and that's what's missing. You and I were having discussions prior to, you and I were having when Tank with the change, like, the powers that be, go was popping and popular, but to the death of our culture and community. And this man, literally, his whole being was about making us better. There was no fucking Hampty Hamps and Soho houses and all that shit before Andre and them. They introduced us to what we could have if we worked hard enough. Mm-hmm. They introduced us into what we could do as a people if we get together and create distribution platforms. Mm-hmm. So it just, it'd be heartbreaking. Like, that's the only thing that, few things that gets me emotional these days.
You, in all of that, you spoke to the revolt thing. Mm-hmm. Also know you went into the spirit world over there with Ciroc and all of that. Yeah. You mind getting into that a little bit? Just how those business ventures came about, what you did to put those things in place. Yeah, so, when I decided to join Dre and the team at Revolt in 2013, I was passionate. I thought that we, could bring back what BET was for us, or even what MTV was for pop culture, musically, because we've seen what's happened to music channels. They're now television stations, and they're not. Yes. They don't really support the music. No music, right? So we had an idea. I said, fuck all the, going back and forth. I'm going to go create Revolt Nation and go on the road. And we're going to go find a new emerging artist. So we went, created a documentary, which is lost. Can somebody please find the footage? But we went, got the Migos, went and got Shot Glizzy, went to the Bay and got, the hyphy movement and whatever that was at the time. We were, doing the cultural stuff. And while they were figuring it out, I felt like they were fucking it up. So I went back on the road. I went and drove in Gumball 3000 and created, short form content in the form of a TV show that we can air on the channel. Come back. Oh, you still ain't got it. I don't want to be here no more. We're about to launch this tequila named Deleon. I think you can help. We got some more flavors coming out. I think you can help on the Ciroc side. I'm going to double your salary. I was like, all right, fuck it. Said, all right, you're going to do that.
I'll give you a couple more months. Went over there, man, and, obviously launched Deleon Tequila. Never really got along with this guy, man, because it was like fighting to fucking get an opinion across, a point across, and I was going to leave. And when I was deciding to leave, I was in my ego. I was like, fuck it, I'm out. Went home, told Jessica, was like, I quit. She's like, no, you didn't. Like, you better go make them pay you. You got a contract. Because me, man, on some man shit, man, fuck all that shit. Right. She's like, you better go back and get your money. So big shout out to D and them. Ended up getting like a year's salary. And 2 months later, I'm back in Atlanta, man, and on a humbug, I got involved or I was having a conversation on a golf course that led to a conversation with the investors who were investing in Uncle Nearest. And the investor was like, you have to meet this woman, Fawn Weaver. She's amazing. And I was like, say less. I need equity though. I don't want to talk to nobody if equity ain't on, on the table. And at this point, I was promised equity in Revolt, according to the guidelines of the executive package. Once we defined it, I was told I'd get equity in De Leon. All the tricks. Partly why I wanted to leave. But then, man, I got an opportunity to meet Fawn Weaver, and it was exceptional. It felt like reparations on so many levels, not just for me, but obviously a 160-year-old story that was waiting to be told. Today, we are the fastest growing independently owned American whiskey in U.S. history. My shares went from 75 cents a share to $29 a share in 7 years. And we outside. And it afforded me, the opportunity to invest in LS Cream Liqueur, which is a Haitian Cremos-inspired cream liqueur. I own 10% or 8.5% of that company. We just did a raise. And if you know about raises, you have to dilute. But I'm not doing that again. But then we also, own 10% of Spearhead Spirits, which is Vusa Vodka, Bayab Gin, and soon to be Sango African Agave. I did not know this, but agave, the second largest grower of agaves in South Africa. So we're coming with an African agave in 24. So I'm in the spirits business. It was low-hanging fruit for me just because of what I was working with. But, I love what y'all are doing and what I'm doing. I love speaking truth to power, and that is what I'm going forward doing. What I'm most passionate about. You go first.
No, I was going to say, too, though, that in this business, you are an example of the audible.
Thank you.
Which I think so many artists, because I consider you to be an artist, so many artists get lost in one play.
Yeah.
This is my play.
Like a motherfucker.
I'm going to, it's either going to be a Hail Mary play.
Right.
It's going to be, you know what I mean? Like, but it's not, okay, well, the defense has lined up a certain way. I got to call another play.
Yeah.
And I think you are a master of that.
Thank you.
In my opinion, because we skipped a few things too. I mean, because eventually you did do Rockefeller.
Yeah,
you did Rock Soul. Was it Rock Soul too? Right, where it was
rock
like
music, yeah.
Where it was like
R&B,
the R&B side, pop division,
which Kanye was originally on until he heated up. And
we can't brush over that. But I just wanted to say though that you've been a great example of watching somebody maneuver.
Thank you.
And say, okay, hey, that's a dead end right there. I might need to back this car up a little bit.
Yeah.
And hit this left.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Before I crash into that sign.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which all of us have at some point hit the sign. We we hard headed.
No question.
It's a part of being successful too.
Yes.
You got to be a little hard headed.
You got to fail.
But the audible is so important in this business, man. And I feel like it's been something that's been very, very important to my own career.
Yeah.
To be able to make that other audible and call that other play.
Yeah. When
I see something else, and the fact that now, you go from the club to the label to the spirit.
Yeah.
All these things connect, though.
Have everything to do with each other.
They all have to do with each other. And like you said, you call it low-hanging fruit, but sometimes that is the most, bearing fruit.
Yeah. And I didn't mean to disrespect the journey by saying, or my own journey by saying low-hanging fruit. I said it because I think my biggest has yet to come, right?
Yes.
And I don't mean that even with success, because I think we've all learned, and that's why I love y'all and respect y'all so much on the business side and personal, because the work has been done.
Yeah.
You are a proving concept. You are a proof of concept. And when you are able to do that, you can recreate over and over and over again. You talk about the art of the pivot. Yeah, you have to be able to pivot or adapt and adjust at the drop of a dime.
Yeah.
But I think now, even with what y'all are doing, and you're finding this because you have to really, right? You have to align your passion and your purpose, because we've been getting money. We've been outside. We done had the best of life, right? Yeah. But to know that aligning your passion and your purpose ultimately defines your success. It's not the houses, the money, the cars, the jewelry, the access. It's literally what you are here to do. I know that my words, of all the things I've done, my words followed by my example and action of that example is why people respect me. You could say all the things, got platinum plaques, got awards, got all the things, but people respect what I say because what I say is what I do.
Yeah.
And if you repeat and rinse that motherfucker over and over, what did Marshawn Lynch say? Over and over. Because once you stop, it stops. See, the gag is that motherfuckers, to Tank's point, you got this one thing you're good at, you're going to squeeze the juice out that rock.
Yeah.
But you don't realize there's something greater waiting.
Mm-hmm.
There's something bigger on the other side of your fear because you're so attached to this one thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what, people, lately it's weird. How you get that confidence? Where does your confidence come from? And we done been on stages together. We done been in, I never, ever feel like I'm not the one. Not even from a, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I've been on stage with Tank, who will sing my face off. But I'm going to get that laugh.
And you still sing.
I'm going to
You're
sing.
still not scared.
Facts, though.
Real
I'm
shit.
the most singing, non-singing one.
I mean, you are a member of Jagged Edge.
I am a fucking man. That's why I love you, Jay. Tell the world.
Full member.
Big shout out to my group, Jagged Edge, man. We
group.
outside. I love y'all with all my heart. Brandon, Brian, Wingo.
That is
You know what I'm saying? Kyle, the dream is real.
You
I
forgot
love
to
y'all.
name Jazzy Faye because he said he's a member too.
Jazzy's not. Actually.
Oh, shit.
Jazzy, you know you're not. Come on.
Beef begins.
Yeah, I love Jazzy. Big shout out to Jazzy
I was
Finzel.
almost actually in Jagged Edge
See, that's a story we need to tell.
Shit.
in real life.
Yeah, no, listen. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because, I can run the slow songs, and with you on those slow songs?
Oh,
Oh,
it
wow.
almost happened. We was
Wow.
this close.
I did not know that. I'm today's
Yeah.
years old.
Yeah, no, I fuck with those guys.
Big shout out to
Heavy.
Jagged Edge, one of the greatest R&B groups ever.
So like for you, it's like in all of this, and we try to find the commonalities in all of these things. It's always music.
No, I love it, man.
It's always the backdrop for you. It's always a space where no matter what you're doing, no matter what your pivot is, some way, shape, or form,
Yeah.
you are heavily involved in something musical.
No bullshit. I want to be an R&B singer. I want to be you, Tank.
But it's like
No, I don't. I
it's-
do.
But it's
I want
like
to be you, Jay
No, I do.
Valentine.
No, I do.
I want to be able. I want to be able to sing.
But it's like if you, I feel like if you are that immersed in music and music culture, then I feel like those people are forever evolving, and ever changing because that's what music does. Music takes you on these different journeys to where, especially with what you do, like the rooms that you're in go from presidential rooms to deep Mississippi. To where making those adjustments, even in those rooms, applies to life in making those pivots and understanding when and how to talk and who to talk to, like all of these different things. You know what I mean? Like the Burns and Nightshell, the Nice and Burns.
It's nothing like it.
It's nothing like it.
Yeah, facts.
You know what I mean?
D-Nice, for
Shout
sure.
out to D-Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
BC,
for sure.
before Corona.
Yeah. Oh, no,
You know what I'm
for
saying?
Sure, yeah.
Like,
No, listen, man. You. First of all, you made me think about the first Apple Ciroc, commercial, because that was the first commercial that didn't have Puff. And to your point of my love for music, it was the beginning of love and happiness. And I said, Puff, every time you put out a bottle, it's a star. And the fact that Apple might probably be your biggest launch, don't you want to make love to the bottle? Don't you want to put the bottle front and center so that you could care? And when that, and to be honest with you, this how God work again. When I came with the idea and I did the commercial, I just said, put them on the spin and play the shit from, because it had to be 30 seconds, play the shit from the beginning to 30 seconds. And it hit the end of the fucking 30 seconds. It was like the best But music, to your point, is like always been a soundtrack to my life. Mm-hmm. That's why I'm so enamored with you and the people that continue to make a way and prove that love, prove that this feeling is necessary for your life. In my opinion, it is the first time in our lives that we don't have a soundtrack as far as hip hop is concerned to our lives. Imagine a time in your life where you didn't have hip hop in play with what you do, how you dress, how you act, how you show up. So for the first time ever, I mean, we can go statistically and see that the first time in 30 years, we hadn't had a number one single or album in hip hop. And then the first single that goes number one is Lil Uzi Vert and he didn't rap. That should tell you where hip hop is. But that should also tell you the opportunity in music. So when you look at Afro beats, when you look at all the things that are house music is coming back, when you look at all the things re-emerging, but the core of that is what? Soul. The core of everything you hear has a rhythm that is connected to your heartbeat, to the way that you rhythmically move and show up. And that's why, like, for me, you're right. Music plays a part in everything I do. There's a soundtrack to every outfit I put on. There's a thought in my mind how I'm showing up. There is theme music involved. And I think people should live by that, especially if you're curating music. And I'm speaking specifically to you executives. You have to make the new cool. You can't just keep signing murder, death, kill, or women misogynists and think that that's going to be law or think that's going to be productive for community. We got to get back to love because, see, without love, we have no balance. Yeah. And I mean, even your love for the art. Yeah. Where's the love for the art? It's not just a money grab. And the problem is ignorance is selling. You know what I mean? And they doubling down on it, but to despair. I never thought I would say this. And I mean it. Hip hop, as we know it, is dead. Culture, hip hop culture will live on. We made too many genres of business. But hip hop music, as we know it, is dead, in my opinion. And I feel like we got to do something about that if we want the art form to be revived. If we don't, we'll continue to grow. And I think this is beneficial for what y'all do. R&B back. It's more people singing. It's more people wanting to sing, you know. And I actually have a question for y'all. I know I'm not the interviewer on this particular episode, but, you know, this is a real question. Because when I think about love, sex, or anything that pertains to a musical offering, a lot of the people that I love musically are going to be banned. And I'll start with R. Kelly. How do you feel about that specifically? Because I think R. Kelly has some of the greatest love songs of all time, some of the best love-making songs of all time. But I feel a certain way, but I got to know how y'all feel. Because when you look at R. Kelly, Tory Lanez, Trey Songz be in trouble every week. You look at Chris Brown and his prior stuff. Not now, he made it through but you got so many artists that are in Puff. If he didn't get out this Cassie thing and went to court and all the things came out, look at all the amazing music he's made and produced. So I don't know. I want to ask y'all, how do y'all feel about the state of our superheroes in music?
I don't think it's any different than it's always been. I mean, I think now it's just a bigger magnifying glass. I think it's a bigger magnifying glass on on what people have done in their personal lives. I think social media, the internet itself, Google, has now made it where it's just more accessible to find out somebody's personal things.
Right.
I mean, we can go back to the beginning of music, the beginning of time, and you're going to find that with immense talent becomes, you know, there's a lot of things that go into someone being really talented.
Right.
And if we're going to have it be where somebody's music isn't separate from their personal life, then we don't have any music at all.
So separating it should be what we're doing.
Well, no, I think.
I'm not telling anybody what to do.
No, I'm just saying. But
I think to add to what he's saying is it's really always been separate, because we were never able to hear these thoughts.
Yeah,
we were never able to see the nuances or the intricacies of said artists. All we had was their music.
That's right.
Yeah.
And now, unfairly, that we have this access, we're now using it against their art.
Yeah.
And I agree.
And before you even finish that, before you start, this is another point I want to make, because one thing that I always see, and it's something that I see when people say, "But what if it was your daughter?"
Facts.
You have 2 sons.
Yeah.
I have a daughter.
Facts.
I have a daughter and a son. The difference is I'm willing to kill or die by mine.
Today.
Everybody's not.
Yeah.
I'm willing to do the time about it.
Yeah, no, facts.
I'm willing, whatever comes along with it. So when someone says, but if they did that to your daughter, like I said,
they wouldn't.
Listen, I'm not even saying they wouldn't. What I'm saying is
there's real consequences.
I am willing to kill or die.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for mine. Yeah.
For mine.
Respect.
So I don't look at it in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I look at it in a sense of I'm going to have as much conversation with my son.
Yeah. So they understand.
And with my daughter about the atrocities of life and the things that sometimes come along with what you're buying into, or what whatever these things are. So I don't look at that. Me personally, I separate the music from the man or the woman.
Right.
This is just me personally.
I agree. And I've been on a journey of trying to right my own personal wrongs, meaning the things that I've done. I've sold drugs. I'm not proud of it.
Right.
I have denounced any street affiliation. If you are, stay the fuck away from me. Mm-hmm. I don't have time to go to jail because I'm with you and we had a conversation. You just came from picking up a load. If you with it, I ain't with it. And I think that even as I continue on my journey to align my passion and my purpose, love has been the equalizer in everything I've done. It's been the reason why we are together and why we became friends. It's the reason I'm married 24 years and got 2 functioning good humans as kids. It's the reason I am the person that people look to in my community. So as I take on that responsibility more and dive into my purpose, I feel like it's not about shunning. It's about correcting. I can't shun anything because I've done it all.
Right.
I mean, outside of the tragic shit that we're hearing about some of our peers. Mm-hmm. But I do feel that there has to be a line in the sand going forward in what I personally associate with, or what I champion. Because it means something to me to say Tank is one of the best R&B singers I've ever, came in contact with, right? Not just because you're a great singer, but because of the thought process that goes into your music, right? Mm-hmm. That's how you want to be received. You show up how you want to be received. You stay in shape so you take that motherfucking shirt off. Mm-hmm. You understand the value and sex appeal when it comes to sex music or love music. But you're the example. And I can't continue to think that people that continue to create narratives or excuses for themselves and align that with the art. Nah, because you're right. Before, both of y'all are right. Before we even had a social media, before we even knew personal lives of artists, they was having babies with 13-year-olds and 14-year-olds. They was fucking their cousins. It was all types of weird shit going on. Mm-hmm. But Tank and I were talking about, R&B getting its due from award shows. But until we take control of the narrative, I don't know if R&B, soul ever gets, hip hop ever gets back right. Music in general. Ladies and gentlemen, rock was a dominant genre. Mm-hmm. Rock is an indie genre right now. If you go 80s and 90s, rock ran it. Mm-hmm. It's an indie genre. So for me to say hip hop is dead, and me being a product of hip hop success, exactly the same age as hip hop, I'm telling you, we are in a weird place musically because without hip hop, I think again, soul and R&B is going to benefit because there's more room and opportunity. But without hip hop, you know, when these people start losing this money, you already, what you call the kill music, you already drilling, you already hoeing, you already doing all the things you think you're supposed to be doing because it's popular and they pushing the button on it. I just don't know where we go as a society. We already seeing these kids, how they robbing and taking. I never met a generation that didn't want to hustle. This generation rather kill than get some money. This generation rather take what you got. And then let's not even go into AI and how they going to be able to create artists. We hearing songs by Drake that ain't Drake.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? So like, I think it's a bigger conversation and we might have to do it on the, you know what I'm saying, next round. But I feel like this is an important discussion because you are independent. You, Tank, and J-Vine are independent.
Well, the even tougher part, which is like, you know, now there are no gatekeepers, right? And we were excited. There are no gatekeepers. But there are
we need gatekeepers.
pros and cons to not having gatekeepers.
And we're not talking about hate keepers. We're talking about gatekeepers.
The difference.
Like when you talk about country music, there's a way that you must do country music.
Y'all got the button.
There's a way you have to do. There are people that will come see you about that country music.
That's right.
We don't have that.
Come on, but you are it. We had a discussion, and I'm not going to say about who.
Absolutely.
But you are it. You are it. The fact that you're independent, doing what you're doing, you have to be the catalyst. There's not one other show that, although this is called, you know, R&B Money, and it's a whole thing that's about R&B, and you're the authorities, but you really are the authorities for music. Everything comes from soul and R&B. Hip-hop wouldn't be hip-hop without the samples of the soul and R&B. So my point to you is be the gatekeepers you want to see. You are. I don't know anybody. I'm not just fucking with y'all because I say this to you independently of a camera or microphone. You have that ability. People listen to you. You can have conversation with executives that the staff can't. I can have it, you know what I mean? You can. People listen to us.
Right.
But it got to be more than just us saying it. But I think that you have a loyal following. I think that you actually have people that are evangelists in the sense that they will go into action for you. And that's what we need from our people. Fuck all that high five and you dapping me up, but you going right back to the bullshit. And we need it all. Listen, I'm not talking about sex and death. I'm sorry, we need sex. I'm talking about death and misogyny and all the things that are anti-quality of life. But we're going to have nuances. We're going to have one-offs. We're going to have people that cannot be the main thing. We have to keep the main thing the main thing. What you do is the main thing. And it's not about shunning, but fuck them people that don't get in line. This talking about generational shit. Your children, my children, their children. That's who we're protecting. We're the only fucking culture that doesn't prepare for the next generation as a majority. The only. We're the only culture that put our kids out at 18 because that's what was done to us and was taught to them.
I was just telling my son the other day how I was like, you can stay forever, bro. I don't care.
And why not?
Why not?
He's like, but what if I like this college out here? I was like, you can go. That's fine. But there are good colleges out here, bro. That you could just drive.
but I mean, the love of a father.
But
in all actuality, he really could. And you don't mind his presence. But
they don't never got to go nowhere.
Right, but we don't have songs about that. We don't have songs about none of that. We don't have songs about community. It's a fucking war going on. It's been 20 wars since the last time somebody sung or wrote about a war. I'm talking about that was what's going on or pierced through the algorithm. But why not? You don't think Sean King posting that fucking treacherous shit every day, visually treacherous, necessary nonetheless. I stopped following for 1 fucking hour and I said, wait, I'm not seeing this on CNN. I got to know at least the balance. Yeah. But like, no, if he could do it all day, every day, we can't make songs about it. You don't think somebody's going to tap into that? But we're just at a point, y'all, in life where our passion has to align with our purpose. Our talent is a nuance. But our real purpose is to make sure our generations behind us have a fucking pathway and that it's lit.
Yeah.
We can't keep going through the weeds and chopping down trees and trying to get through some shit. We don't have to work that hard. We should not have to work that hard. Dr. Umar, I do not follow him. And I don't adhere to all his stuff. But he did say something the other day. How hip-hop 50 years old? We ain't got no hospital. We ain't got no... And I'm just saying, if we're a community, people talk about the diaspora all the time. We're from America. We were born here. Lineage, yes. Heritage, yes. Legacy, yes, on some levels. But a lot of us have been tainted and diluted so much. Hip hop culture is our culture.
Yeah.
We built this motherfucker.
Yeah.
We are our ancestors' wildest dreams. But we don't have nothing important. We don't have. You can't go down the street to a block. I'm just saying, we don't. Not that people aren't doing good work. Not that people aren't creating cures and things, but we don't own what we own. Distribution. How 50 years of anything happened with this type of dominance and we ain't got no distribution? This the first generation. Round of applause for this generation and their motherfucking don't give a fuck about the industry shit. Cause they selling out 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 seaters and you ain't seen them. So I think we're there. I think we have all the right ingredients, but we need gatekeepers. We need rules. We need people that are afraid to do things with fear of losing their opportunity. That's not the case anymore. It's not the case. You got people in justice reform on the internet today talking about how you gonna get at somebody. Like, how can you do justice reform and yet you going at somebody still? Can we lose? I'm a fucking square, and you know me, and you know me. I'm a square now, and I'm cool. I don't want no smoke. I don't want to fight. I don't even want you to be offended.
I think that the only thing that can happen at this stage, though, is just for the individual or individuals to be examples. That's the most you can do at this point, because the other part is, too, I mean, the world is always going to be on the back of the youth.
Has been and should be. I don't think as much now.
You know what I mean? So, but that's the case, though. That's just what it is. And we got to live through that, right? And obviously we got to have our conversations and instill things, but they have to decide what kind of rules they want to live by.
No question. That's a fact.
So to say,
sad fact,
you know what I mean? Like, enough of them have to come together and say, hey, this thing is not working.
Yeah, but your son, see, that's the thing. There is.
Right.
They're there, but they're not being amplified. So and I wish the internet would end today. Not in the form of we lose money, you know what I'm saying, for creating shows that mean something. But I'm saying, as far as like, if we had to get out here and go back to you had to really be her or him, if we had to go back and really had to hustle to make and couldn't just upload, like, it'd be a better world. You wouldn't know all the nuances. You'd have some mystique when you showed up. Who wants to see somebody see every single day on social media? That's why the money transcends into the algorithm and becomes, let me just go online. I'm not going to tour as much. I'm not going to do, because, I could say whatever, it's going to go viral. That's going to give me followers. But like, what type of world is that? It's definitely not the R&B soul world.
It's
the new world.
It's the world.
And you know what I mean?
And we're only getting deeper into that space. I think we have to, like what we talked about before. For me, it's a deeper conversation. It starts at home. It starts in terms of how you're raised, who's raising you, and what they're pouring into. Mm-hmm. That decides how you offer or what you have to offer. And we have to, look at, when we see certain kids doing certain things, we can track back to exactly where they got it, exactly where they learned it.
Right.
And in some instances, everybody's mind is not the same.
Yeah.
We can say, well, you should have made this choice. It ain't always that easy.
No.
Like, sometimes, like, they all got guns.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the only one without a gun.
I need one.
Yeah.
I need a gun.
I need a gun. Yeah, like, that's to your point about the gatekeepers, though.
It becomes like a lot of things really do become just simply about survival.
Yeah, but
and that's a makeup of just the beginning, the foundation of our communities, of our households. Mm-hmm. Like, we were just raised with different kinds of parents and grandparents that just wasn't having certain shit. Mm-hmm. And so as I ventured out to do all this bad shit that I wanted to do, and sometimes I did do it, in the back of my mind, I was like,
Darrell!
My mama, my grandmama, they gonna fuck me up when I get home. Yeah. I knew it. And that is the missing piece of the balance.
Yeah.
It starts there. Can't no internet, can't no rap song, can't no R&B song. None of that could do more damage to me than what my mama or my grandmama was going to do.
Well, we need that though, then Tank. We need gatekeepers. If you can't get in the home,
we need housekeepers.
No. Listen, we need housekeepers. But if it's not happening in the home, there has to be some guardrails outside the home.
But here's what happens, right? We can only provide the water. We can only provide the water. We can't make them drink.
But we don't have to sign. We can sign Lotto. We don't have to sign Sexy Red. We could. There's things that help the process.
But even okay.
And I like.
But even looking at however people may look at whatever kind of music someone makes. I always also and I hope that as someone gains success, that they can start moving into a space of maturity and doing bigger and better things. But even just in the success in itself, you have to look at the trickle up effect that comes along with success. There are people that are part of these camps, whoever these artists may be, that their lives will be changed because this artist got successful off of whatever type of record that was that got them there. And these people now, hopefully, can continue to start putting different things out in the community and in a different space that that will help. That will help, and ultimately gives them a job. When people don't understand how many, obviously you do, I do, how many people are employed by a hit record.
No, I listen, and we want everybody to eat. I just think they should burn it down and rebuild it.
It's gonna be tough, man. That's gonna be tough because
you know what you got to do.
Give me my blowtorch out the back.
You know what you got to do.
Zena.
You know what you got to do. You just my favorite saying is when good people stand by and do nothing.
No, we doing the work. I'm just tired.
Bad people are able to flourish, and so it's up to the good people. It's up to the people with these standards or these morals. It's up to the people with the actual talent, to do something, to create the balance, to not sit back and just, man, that's all they want to see. Right? Give them some. Like I'm watching this guy. Who's the guy? The D1 guy.
Yeah, D1.
And he's going on this call out campaign. That's not how you do that.
I mean, that's a part of it. Though. I mean, if he wants to create conversation, yes.
But
you got to have records too.
Don't
you got to have records too.
It was approach.
Don't call it love.
No. That's where he went wrong.
Don't call it love.
Right, because you don't have a relationship of love with these individuals. Now, I will say the message was 100% correct. It was the way he delivered it. No, delivery is key, and knowing your audience is key too. That's why I like the conversations we'll have here, on the R&B Money podcast versus the, conversations I had on Big Facts. I went crazy on Big Facts, but I knew exactly who I was speaking to and how they needed to receive it. And I think you're absolutely right. But we all have to also, too, help guys like D1 who really don't have a bad bone in their body in the point in which he was trying to make. It's the way he made it. And I implore Jim, all these are my guys. And Jim actually was on Sway. Like, he was really mad about it. I know Jim.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
But at the same time, I think that to your point, Jay, about it's so much money that comes with what people are doing. And there are people that are eating off that. And there are sensitivities
They're raising families.
There's
sending their kids to college.
Absolutely. And there's sensitivities to it all. But as we all enter the realm of aligning our passion and purpose, we also have to be honest with ourselves and be willing to have real conversations. And that's what we got to start encouraging people to do, and not make them feel defensive like he did. And in that way,
if I want to have a conversation with you about something that I feel like, maybe that's not the right way to do that, then social media has made people believe that it's open court, an open season to be able to shoot those shots at whoever, whenever you feel like it. Everybody's not going to receive that shot the way you think they are.
No question. And the pilgrimage has to be inclusive. It can't be you. Now, there are some that I'm pointing
this, I'm saying, I'm better because of that. Yeah. And the scripture lives in me.
Yeah, no question.
God is, hey.
Yeah, no question. But I do agree, and not in this particular case, but there are some people that are just not fit. And if I say them, I meant it. And I don't agree with you existing in the realm. That's just me personally, but that's how I get down. And everybody knows that. We
gotta, as you said earlier, and as we all agree, we gotta lead with love.
Yeah.
Right? Let's say we're talking about the spiritual realm, right? Yeah. We are living under grace.
You got a record with Sexy Red coming out or something?
No.
I'm just playing.
Listen, we are living under grace if we're speaking biblical.
Yeah.
And we offer none. Mm-hmm. We are living under grace, under forgiveness, under the idea of a second, third, fourth, and fifth chance, and we offer none.
Yeah.
We got to get back to leading with love, having these conversations with love, because it's just going to be a different type of reception.
No question.
The sit down is different when you sit down with the Minister Farrakhan and he leads with love first.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that conversation is different than you need.
Yeah.
My brother, how can we work together to make this what it needs to be?
Absolutely. And as we grow, we evolve. So hopefully everybody is listening and, talking to all parties involved, and all of the people with their perspectives can grow. Because Farrakhan started one way and ended another, or will end in the best version of himself. You know what I mean? I think that's how we should all look at life. Let's end the best versions of ourselves, not the things that oppress us, not the things that we started out doing that we now know are wrong. Like, let's try to end with the best versions of ourselves. And there are some things that got to go away for that to happen, but, we'll show grace and we'll continue to continue.
Hey, when I say he want to burn it down,
I'm sitting with this shit was a person.
And sick of this shit. And hold on. And y'all are beacons of the light I am suggesting and discussing, though, from an executive standpoint, and what you've been able to do with R&B Money, your consistent messaging, the way you deal with people and show up how you want to be received. This is why I'm on this podcast. Not just because we're friends, because you have people that literally will evangelize the things that you bring them and show them, because you are bringing it to them through love and through a lens of we can all be better doing it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I love most about what you're doing. Not just what you write and sing, but what you're doing with this podcast.
We're just trying to set an example.
Yeah.
Ultimately, through our own actions.
Yeah.
We can't, this is the other part, and we all know this, man. We can't control what other people are going to do, or what they've done, or what they're doing.
Amen.
At the end of the day, it's just like, okay, so what are you doing? If somebody asked me what am I doing, I said, I'm doing me.
Yeah.
That is my contribution. Me.
I'm so mad at your hairline and the fact that your hair is still good, though. I
got some new shit happening too. I'll show you later.
Okay, show me later. But I can't stand you. You know what I mean? And to see you so calm. Can I give y'all flowers real quick? To see you so calm now.
Here you go.
Because like, growth is a real thing. And then you, Dr. Bass, like you.
Thank you.
Come on, it's fine. It's fine. I know how to.
I appreciate you.
I appreciate but I appreciate the growth, man. Yeah. And we've all had some real serious life conversations in our 20 plus years of friendship. And I just love the growth. With all my heart I do, man, because there are not a lot of safe places. And even though some real things are being said in these safe places, this is a safe place that you've created. And I want to applaud you both on your growth and your dedication to us. So,
Thank you,
bam, 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 bam.
Part everyone's been waiting for.
Yeah.
You do so many things. Been part of so many ventures and business. One thing we always come back to is the soul. Yeah. backdrop to every experience. And I know you have some favorites. I know you have a top 5.
Yeah.
Your top 5.
Yeah.
Top 5. Your top 5.
What is it?
R&B singers.
What else?
R&B songs.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know you know. I know you've grown. I know you've shown. You're gonna tell us, Mr. Burns, your top 5. Yeah.
That boy good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're top 5.
Yeah.
Kenny Burns, top 5.
That boy good. Round of applause for Dr. Babs, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. I love it.
Mr. Kenny Burns,
Yes.
the lifestyle specialist.
Yes.
I can't wait to hear this. Your top 5 R&B singers.
Get my hat right for this.
Yeah, come on, straighten up. Straighten up. Yeah, straighten up.
You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Until the end of time, I'll be there for you. You own my heart and mind. I truly adore you. Number 1, Adore by Prince.
That's songs, artists.
Oh, artists.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. I was about to get.
Prepared your script.
I love this.
Yeah.
I like the lyrical.
breakdown.
You know.
All right.
You went
All
full.
right. Just to show you I know
you
the
went
music.
full Lorenz Tate.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Right.
You are the groove in my soul.
Yeah, exactly. Damn. Okay, so top 5 R&B songs.
Singers.
Singers.
R&B singers.
Come on, Love Jones. Come on.
Okay, yeah. All right, here we go. Top 5 R&B singers: Prince, Michael Jackson, yeah, Luther Vandross.
Why not? Why not?
Oh my love. Oh,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I can't.
Yeah.
1,000. That's the non-singing. So we got Prince, we got Michael Jackson, we got Luther. Yeah, gets a little heavy right now. Yeah, I'm stuck a little
Don't
bit.
be stuck.
It's
Come
so
on.
many. I'm trying to go to eras to get to.
Listen, just
Yeah, it's a thing.
what you're listening to right now. What's touching your soul?
Yeah.
What can't you get away from?
Yeah.
What I
That's
can't
that's
get.
how I usually look at
That's
it.
a great question. I can't get away from. Can I say a group?
Yeah, of course you can.
Yeah, I can't get away from Jodeci.
Why not? Who would want to?
Yeah, I can't get away
Who
from
would
Jagged
want to
Edge.
do that? Huh?
Yeah, I can't get
Yeah,
away
Jagged.
from Jagged.
Jagged, get in there, Jagged. Top
Yeah,
5.
yeah,
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 Jagged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Jagged Edge.
Yeah. And it's so you know, and I can't leave New Edition. You know what I mean? I just as a collective, I
Top
can't.
6. It happens.
Yeah, let's get the top 10. Then.
It happens.
And I can't. You know, I can't. Christopher Williams doesn't get enough credit.
No, you don't.
Don't wake me.
Yeah.
I just
Don't.
think Christopher Williams.
And he was not playing in the games.
Yeah, he wasn't. Yeah, and then
no,
Teddy
he's-
Pendergrass is another level.
I mean,
If you gonna mention Christopher Williams, you
yeah,
gotta get
Tank,
Pendergrass.
you know,
Okay,
rounds out my top. Yeah,
He's at 37 people.
That's 10. No, I said I was going to 10.
Why?
now.
Because I'm in the top 10. It's 37 people.
Yeah, I
that was
said
clearly
10.
New Edition
9.
got 6 members.
And I'm not gonna lie
Jagged
to
got
y'all.
4.
And no, we said group though, and I ain't gonna lie to y'all.
Group
And I'm gonna
is
say
what?
this. This is exclusive.
Okay.
Because I definitely am against the acts that were portrayed by this man. But R. Kelly, man, you know, I miss his music, man. I do, and I don't listen to it anymore. But I miss his music, man. It was just so connected. I mean, only reason I don't is because my mind's telling me no, but my body's telling me yeah.
I don't even want you to do that.
It takes me.
All right. Your top 5. Your top 5
Yeah.
R&B songs. Now you can go into your Love Jones.
Oh, man,
Let's
you
get
could
it.
have just flipped that for me and then came
no,
back.
No. I had to make it difficult.
Okay, all right. Yeah, number 1, Adore.
Okay.
Sheesh.
Yeah, number
Love that
1.
song,
I never, I got to have your face on my pillowcase. If you think that I'm the man, I'm a man of exquisite taste. Silk imported Egyptian lace. Nothing, baby can compare. Nothing can compare to your lovely face. Do you know what I'm saying to you this evening? Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, Prince, I think...
it's real songwriting.
Real songwriting.
It was unbelievable.
Real songwriting.
I mean, in pimping too, but... Yeah.
Whole lot of pimping.
There's a whole lot of pimping. And they used to be like, that's your daddy wore heels. I said, but he had them all. Had them all. And he wasn't about that life.
Your daddy wore heels.
Yeah. You know, that's my father. Yeah. Your daddy wore heels. Number 2. Top 5 songs of all time. Number 2. Wow. Yeah, I think Never Too Much, Luther Vandross. Never Too Much. Yeah, that was a... Looked at your
jam.
picture just to get me started.
A stone cold jam.
Yeah, that's a and you know what? Womack, Baby, I'm Scared of You, like, is it's a different, like, that was like, baby, I'm scared of you.
Give him your notage. Give him your...
I don't believe in magic. You know what I'm saying? Magic. I believe in... I thought y'all were coming in. Love everlasting.
Yeah, because you sing in your own key.
Yeah.
It'd be a little tricky to help.
Yeah. But you know the song. You ain't shit. Number 3. Number 3, man. It's between Walked Out of Heaven and it's Walked Out of Heaven, I think. I'm about to go. Yeah, Walked Out of Heaven special. I'm just gonna can I put Jagged Edge for number 3? Because it's
that was before.
He Can't Love You. Right? I Gotta Love You. It's a couple of them though. You know what I'm saying?
Enjoy yourself. Look at it.
Hold on. Let's see. I can't, and this is blasphemous since I'm the 5th member because we do this shit all the time on tour. Gotta be. Sorry, I'm bugging.
Yeah, we do this all the time on tour.
Yeah, it's gotta be number 3. Gotta be is just, I gotta be the one you know what I'm saying?
Feel your heart with sunshine.
Yeah.
Gotta be.
Feel your,
I gotta be.
Yeah, so number 4.
That's a hell of a declaration.
This is hard, by the way. This is not as easy. This is hard.
When you're watching other people do it, though, you be like, man, I would have said.
Yeah, you're judging like a mother. You ain't showing no grace.
You ain't showing no grace.
Yeah, I'm over here.
We must show grace.
4, yeah. Wow. Damn, I'm stuck, bro.
No, you're on 5, though.
I'm on 4.
Yeah. You had a Prince joint, a Luther joint, Womack and Womack joint, the Magic.
That's 3. Oh, 4. I'm on 5. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Let me get up out of here.
I'm helping you out.
You curate too many musical moments.
I know, and I'm saying what to play half the times. I know.
I've watched.
You telling the DJs what to play. You are killing me right now.
I'm bugging.
You are beside yourself.
So could you have not done that before and let me just get it so I could run it?
Nope.
All right, exactly. Oh man. Whoa. I gotta give my sister some love. Womack and Womack, she's the lead on that. Brother, I am stuck like Chuck. Help me.
There's only one more.
Help me. You've been.
We can't give you our records.
We will not.
Can't give you our favorites.
You will not help your brother.
Your favorites.
I know, but I mean, I'm just saying I can't think right now. You're saying all time.
Your all time.
I'm 50. Okay. You know how many years I've been loving music?
Pick one.
Jesus Christ.
Nobody's gonna be mad at you.
I'm not gonna be mad at myself. This is too much time. This episode is 2.5 hours. Let me go here. I gotta fucking think.
Go on, look.
Yeah, I gotta look. Sorry
what
about
you're playing. Like, ladies and gentlemen, this is lifestyle specialist, the curator of incredible musical moments.
Yeah. He can't curate.
I'm gonna say "Tender Love" by Force MDs.
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
Come on.
Yeah.
And I rushed through that. I apologize. Yeah. I don't know why or what's happening right now. Because in the moment on stage, I can come with it like
easy.
This.
Easy.
Yeah, I ain't drank nothing today.
Tender love.
Oof.
Love so tender.
Love so tender.
That man, yo, listen.
Close to you, Baby, I surrender. Hear how tender his voice is?
Candles, they
He was singing.
light the
He was singing with
dark.
conviction.
That man said candles, they like them. Can you just see the flicker
Yeah.
in the skin? Huh? Could you just, you know what I'm talking about?
They lights that probably got cut off.
Okay, great.
Talk to talk.
You know, you got to
Kenny
figure it out
Burns.
sometimes.
Wow.
Lifestyle specialist, we are getting ready to create your Voltron, right? Where we create your super R&B artists.
Got it.
So we got to know of all the artists you've ever heard to build this artist, who would you get the vocal from? Who would you get the performance style from? Who would you get the styling from?
Jesus
And who would you get the passion of the artist from? Let's start with the vocal. Whose vocal do you want on your super R&B artist? One vocal.
One vocal.
One
One
vocal.
vocal.
Prince.
Why not?
Lead singer.
Lead singer. The styling. No, the performance style.
The
on stage.
Performance
Jackson.
style.
Michael
Ooh.
Jackson performance style.
Okay.
Yeah.
The styling.
Yeah.
The artist. The drip.
The drip. So that wasn't number 2 though, because I think
No,
Michael Jackson
performance style.
performance.
Now we're talking about the
style.
clothes.
Yeah,
Now we're
this is
talking about the
clothes.
clothes.
The costume.
Woo. That's a fucking great question. Stylistically, most artists don't have style.
Or a signature style. for that
Signature
matter,
style.
anyway.
You know what I mean? My daddy ain't had the best style as far as like what I would wear, but he's the one, not the two. So we have Prince for the vocal. We have Michael Jackson for the stage presence. Absolutely. Wow, bro, like that's very hard. Let's go with, and it could be a woman too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so it could be. I know you're gonna edit this, but
No, we're not.
no, I'm saying to the point. I was in
No, we're
between
not.
this driving me crazy. Oh, you leave it. So Michael is for the stage. I would say style, man. Lauryn Hill might be the most. No, but she goes a little left sometimes. Preference. This is preference too, right?
Yeah.
Let's give it to Mary J.
Mary J. Fly. Mary J. Blige just fly.
Oh,
No, I
stay
mean
fly.
from the beginning.
Yeah.
Just stay fly.
Yeah.
I mean from the jerseys with the hats.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
She been on to something since the beginning.
Yeah, she been on something
Yeah.
for sure.
Passion of the artist.
Passion.
Heart of the artist.
Sweating. Jumping off stage. Stage dive. What all of it. Whatever.
What I say,
Mean it when they say it.
I would just say, I would say this guy right here because it's just. I mean, because when he sang, I mean, come on and go with me.
Yeah.
I mean, every beginning of the lyric, he gave you direction.
Teddy P.
Come on over to my place.
Yeah.
Would you do that?
Yeah. Would you do that, babe?
It'll be so nice.
Would it be
It'll
so
be so nice. It'll be so nice.
Yeah.
Hey, we so far from that place. Hey, pull up.
Pull
What?
up. Yeah.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
What you doing? I'm just on the pull up.
Even the lights. Turn them off.
Yeah, that nigga was just, turn them off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was no delivery like his. It was different. So we got one
We got to
more.
get back to that romanticizing, like talking the talk.
Yeah.
All we gotta do is make the records, though. I mean, I think that is the, to me, that is the wrap up of our whole conversation today. It's more so of like, you just gotta do it.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's one thing to talk about it, and even from, okay, you would say from Tank and I, from our space, okay, y'all do it, but then from your space, it's like, go sign it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Develop it. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you loud and clear. I received that, and I even heard his comment earlier about music and me loving it and being the soundtrack to my lifestyle. It's just a business that has never really fulfilled me. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You know, even with the success I've had in it and the thoughts of, Uber success, it's just certain things that I can't align with. I put my hands on somebody. So leaving the music business is probably the best thing for me because it just, they don't play fair. There's no appreciation. That's why I honor your relationship. They're getting rid of whoever along the way, you know, like just different things. It's just not my thing. But I love music, and I will bring it to R&B money ASAP if I see it.
I'll hold you to that.
Yeah, no question. Done.
All right, we got one more thing before you get out of here.
Yeah. Oh Lord.
Yeah.
Let's
go ahead and fix these microphones.
I ain't saying no names.
Hey!
I ain't saying no names. I ain't saying no names. I ain't saying no names. Where you was, who you was with, what you did. Don't say shit. I ain't saying no names.
Yeah.
Take him to church, baby.
Talk to him.
Come on. So, yeah. This is very, very important part.
Come on.
Very important segment of the show.
Important.
Yeah.
Most important.
Yeah. Especially for a man like Kenny Burns.
Yeah.
Right? You know, the travels. You know, you've said it before. I've been around the world.
Yes. And
And literally.
Yeah.
So this segment of the show, you tell us a story, funny or fucked up, or funny and fucked up.
Right.
The only rule to the game is you can't say no names.
Got it. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. Hold on.
No, I got it. I got it.
You got yours? You got it?
Yeah.
Okay. So right now, this is Kenny Burns, 2620, Studio 43, Uncle Nearest, ownership, all the labels, all the song and dance, the Nice and Burns show, all the cool shit. Listen, he say lifestyle special, I just say cool shit. He is the king of cool shit to me. He been the coolest nigga forever. At all times. So right now, he gonna give us his I ain't saying no names.
Let me get down in my seat for
this.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, it was on the island of Capri.
Is that where you going?
Yeah. I was working with somebody, and this person, you know, might be an icon or not, you know what I'm saying? But I'm on this island, and, you know, we're in the midst of creating, you know? And I thought I was catching some energy, you know what I mean? And, you know, at this time, I'm not in a position to do anything about said energy, but, you know, because this is such a, you know, enormous figure, I'm like, damn, at least let me just see what you're talking about if it actually is what I think it is, you know? And so, you know, we go through a couple rounds of dinner and yachts, and we're, you know, this is the life, you know what I mean? This is what I signed up for, you know? And, you know, one night in the club, you know, on the beautiful island of Capri after about a week and a half of, you know, just being around each other, you know what I mean? I'm dancing in the club, and look who comes dancing up on me. Yeah, so I'm like, this is not what I'm expecting, but kind of expecting a little bit, right? But not in public, you know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah, all right, cool, we dancing, yeah. All right, oh, okay, cool. All right, so might be a little more than dancing, huh? Okay, all right, cool. So we about to leave the club, you know, and there were two routes to go, you know, to my room or to the yacht, you know. Next thing I know, somebody's grabbing my hand, and I'm like, what's going on, you know? And it's fucked up. I couldn't really do anything about it, you know what I mean? I couldn't really, you know, I went to my room. I didn't go to the yacht, you know what I mean? But I did the responsible thing, you know what I mean? Because that's what I should have did. And can't say anything else because it's, what is it? No names? No.
Can't say no names?
Yeah. So but it would have been legendary. And the gangster thing is that all the feels that I thought that were coming my way, all the energy that was coming my way, I end up leaving because of, you know, I'm, you know, couldn't do anything, and I didn't want to be there with the pressure. And so I end up sending someone else from the company to kind of be in pocket. And I jokingly called back and was like, you know, a couple of weeks later after he had been there, I was like, yo, where light skin at? You know what I'm saying? And he's like, dog, like, chill. I'm like, what you talking about, chill? I'm like, where's she at? Well, on the phone. I got to check on the boo. He's like, well, now you said that like you kind of, I was like, you know what's going on. Relax. You know what I mean? He's like, well, look, we've been kind of talking to each other over the last 2 weeks. And
don't talk about my girl like that.
Yeah, yeah. That's exactly.
Call it by her name. Don't call it. Don't nickname my girl.
No pet names, right?
Yeah,
you know
and they actually
nigga, I sent you.
Don't
That's our girl.
Don't Coca-Cola my girl. You know, you sure because she's shaped like a Coke.
Yeah.
Oh, you little cola out there? You got cola with you?
Yeah. So he ended up dating her and getting engaged.
Mm-hmm. And you stood on your morals.
Stood on my morals, man. You know?
Yeah.
I was becoming a family man. Yeah.
And you abstained.
Yeah.
My.
Yeah, definitely sustained and held myself down. Okay. And that was a notch kind of joint. That would have been just something you did. You know, when they put that on the wall.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I was grown.
And you abstained.
Yeah, I did grown things.
I kind of believe you.
Yeah.
I kind of believe you.
A la Capri?
Yeah.
Yeah. Line it up.
He said, I kind of believe it.
What's wrong with you, man? Put that on the grill. Hibachi that.
Yeah, that you know, in any other circumstance or situation, that would have definitely been one on the belt.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Well, we know that Burns, you are not short of opportunity. But you are more full of morality.
Yeah. Some things have to stay in play.
You are a gentleman.
Know your boundaries.
Yes, sir.
You can flirt like a motherfucker. Just don't fuck.
Yeah.
You like that?
Okay. Is that the pass? Is that the new pass? You can flirt.
Flirting is innocent as long as it's in certain parameters and you go home.
You flirt, but don't be fucking.
Yeah. You can flirt, but don't fuck.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, you are free. I mean, you the homie. It's like trying to close it out is weird, but it's like we love you, brother, man.
Love you too,
and,
love you, dog.
That's never gonna change. We got your back, man. We appreciate all that is you.
Thank you.
We're here for everything. It is you. You know, we are a phone call away. You don't even ask us. Just tell us where it is, and
I appreciate it.
You know what I'm saying? And your contributions, they're still needed. As we speak about this, this space, which you've expressed, is it just from a mental space, it doesn't serve you well. You know what I mean? Like there's still that voice and there's still that representation of what you represent that's still in some way, shape, or form needed in what we do.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? And even into helping us do what we do, like that input and that wisdom. You can't keep that all to yourself, brother.
I appreciate it. And I'm here for it. You know we have our conversations.
Yeah.
If you ever need anything, you know what I mean, as it adheres to the label, you already know personally, but I would love to support your movement because it's amazing. And you're making some great quality, sustainable, inspirational, legacy-ridden music. And I love it. So I'm proud of you both.
And there it is. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tank.
I'm Jay Valentine.
This is the R&B Money Podcast, the authority on all things R&B. And we have just talked through the authority on so many things, man. You are a blessed brother, a gifted brother in all facets of life.
Thank you, brother. Flirt, don't fuck.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kenny Burns, Lifestyle Specialist.
R&B